When you join, if it's through Zoom again, write your name, last name, so I know who the heck you are, because then I'm all worried that who's here. Okay? So look, it says here, you got a paycheck with $3,200, right? So guess what? That would be the first balance. So I'm gonna go here.
Today, reading tutorial. And you know who you are. Si no, fail.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And yesterday, thank you, sir. Those that
Yeah.
had to go, they went.
Number 5. Right, number 5. I'm doing the harder one. And it says 3,200, right? 3,200. That's a paycheck. And I'm gonna put a B. The B means that's my balance, okay? That's what I have as a balance, okay? But then, I gave a car payment. Anything that's under withdrawal, that word withdraw is always minus. Withdrawals are always minuses. So I see $260, so guess what I'm gonna go? Minus $260. Okay? Now what's 0 minus 0? 0. Now what I need here, I need to make it a 10. This becomes a 1. 10 minus 6?
9. 4.
10 minus 6? 4. Then this becomes 11. This becomes a 2. I'm regrouping. 11 minus 2? 9. And then 2 minus nothing? 2. This becomes the new balance, so we put a B. So you're supposed to be copying. More again. Okay. Yeah. So you just have to listen. That's good. Then on the 18th, I did a deposit. Deposits, guys, those are always positive. Okay? So you see the word withdraw? That's minus. Deposits, positive, plus. Okay? So I have a deposit of 180, so I'm going to do what? Plus or minus? Deposit plus or minus?
Plus.
Plus. This word deposit always means plus. Withdrawals means minus. This is a very easy problem that we should not miss. You just have to remember what deposit is, withdrawal is. Okay? Withdrawals, minuses, deposits, plus. And also the description kind of helps you. Car payment is going to be a withdrawal, but no power. Cash deposit, that's coming in. Estás metiendo dinero al banco. Paycheck, estás metiendo dinero al banco. Your paycheck, they're paying you your check. And then rent payment, that's going to be withdrawal, vas a pagar la renta. Phone bill, ¿qué vas a hacer? Withdrawal también. So you can tell which ones are just with the descriptions, but this helps you a lot. Okay? So this was a deposit, which is this guy. So 0 plus 0, 0. And then next to the calculator, you just have to write it down, punch it in. Write it down, punch it in. So I don't know why the kids with the calculator would not do good. 12. That would be 14. 3. So what do I put here? A B. What does a B mean? That's my new balance. My new balance. I'm putting balances. So ahorita en el banco tengo $3,120. That's what I have according to this. Then on 410, I transfer from the savings. Now, transfers can be plus or they can be minuses. It just depends. Since it's coming from the savings, it's going to be a plus. If it was coming from the checking, it was going to be a minus. Okay? So let me tell you how it works quickly. You don't have to copy this. When you open a bank account, you have your checking account and you have your savings account. The one that you really work with is this guy. This one is the savings. That's when lo guardas el dinero, right? Now, if I transfer from the savings, that means that, let's say I'm transferring from 200, I'm transferring from the savings, that means that it becomes plus and it's coming from. From is the keyword, from the savings. I'm sending from $200 from the savings into the checking. Sometimes you have to do that, like right now, I have to do that. I have to go to the bank, transfer from the savings into my checking because I have to go pay. Well, I don't have to, I already paid the taxes for some of my houses that I have for rent. So I have to pay those taxes But now I have to put back the money because eventually they're gonna cash the check and they're gonna say pues ni tienen ni dinero para pagar las taxes, right? So I need to go to the bank, transfer from the savings into the checking. So my savings, since it's from, that is a minus over here. But in my checking, it's gonna be a what? A plus because it's coming from my savings into my checking. You understand? Now, if I transfer from, listen, from the checking, then it will be a minus now because now it's going from the checking into the savings. I also do that. Once I'm done with all my payments and everything, I say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer $1,000 to the savings, and I keep on shoving money in there, savings, but se haga más grande, okay? That's what I do. So once I get, like I do my payments or whatever I have to do, which it's not that much payments because I don't like to owe money, okay? Like all my vehicles are clean. I don't like to start with pagos, okay? Because then te roban intereses. You have to be smart with your money. That's how you make your bank account grow. You don't want to owe money. And if you don't owe money, the interest rate better be very little. Like try to be under 5% always if you can. 5% to me is too much. Just so you know. But that would be the worst case. Like I would never take a car or a house more than 5%. That's crazy. But we have a bunch of people, unfortunately, that they do that. I feel bad for them, right? But most of their money is going to payments. So their cash flow never gets big, okay? So anyway, so once I'm done with my checking, sometimes I transfer from the checking into the what? Savings. So if I do from checking, the transfer becomes a minus. So you have to read the word from. If it's coming from the savings, it's positive to your checking. If it's coming from the checking, it will be minus. Do you understand? This word is a key word when we use this word transfer. Okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about in case you're confused. It says here transfers, right? But if I read here, it says transfers from the savings. So here the savings, I checking. So that's why this guy is really a plus. Plus, I think it's 300. I think it's 200. What did I say yesterday? Yeah. After we got to 2,420. Did I say plus 200 or plus 300? I think it's 200. Huh? I can't see it. That's 200. So plus 200. Again, transfers, they could be minuses or they could be pluses. If it's coming from the savings, it's a plus. If it's coming from the checking, it's a minus. Because this is called a checking account. Right? So 3,620. So his new balance, every time that you get an equal, that's your new balance. An equal, that's a new balance. An equal, that's a new balance. That's the way it works. Okay? So I'm done with that one. Now you're going to give your rent payment. Vas a pagar la renta. La renta le sale a esta persona 1,100. Crazy. With that, I can buy a big house. Just so you know. If you're going to be paying rent for 1,100, get out of there. Establish your credit. Save some money and go buy your house. You're throwing away your money. And it's never going to be yours. You understand? Buy a home if you're paying that much for rent. Screw that. Rent one of mine. I rent them cheaper. I'm just kidding. I mean, I do rent them cheaper, but that's 1,100. That's crazy for rent, guys. Minus 1,100. ¿Por qué sé que es un minus? How do I know it's a minus? Because what? Because it's a withdrawal. Withdrawal means minus. Second reason was you're paying the what? Rent. There's two reasons. This is the main one. I really want you to focus on these words. Withdrawals are always minuses. Deposits are always pluses. Always. Transfers, it depends where it's coming from. Okay. 0 minus 0? 0. 2 minus 0, 2. 6 minus 1, 5. 3 minus 1, 2. Now his new balance is 2,520. I'm gonna write it over here now, 2,520, that's my new balance. Now I need to pay the phone bill. It's also under withdrawal. So what is it, a minus or a plus? Minus again. Withdrawals are always minus. Minus 150. It becomes 10. That's 5, 0, 4. What's the new balance? 2025. Now I'm going to read the question. They want me to know what's the balance. That's why we put the B. So if you know the balance. After the 26. So I'm going to go check. The 26 is right here. So it was the last thing that we did. This is the last thing that we did. So then this guy would be the answer, which is letter B. Questions with check registers. That's how you check how much you're spending, how much you're getting, and all that stuff. So put a note here somewhere in your journal. Deposits are always plus. Siempre. Withdrawals are always minus. Ponga esto en sus notas, because you're going to get a question like that tomorrow. And we should not miss it if we're careful with our adding and subtracting. If we go slowly, okay? And what do you always start with? You always start with your beginning balance. The beginning balance in this case was the paycheck. You got a paycheck on April 15th. Okay? Something else that I think that I should tell you is anytime that there's a minus plus, you should put the date. So this happened on the 15th. Just put the date next to it. The 480. Did I skip this one? 260. Well, that was the 200. 1,200? It's already here. Okay, on the 18th, we have two things that happened. We had that happened, and we had that one that happened. So your pluses and minuses, you have a date. You know why? Because they could have asked me, what's the balance after the 18th? So I'm going to check the 18th, the balance is right there. You understand? So every time that you do a minus or plus, put a date next to it. So this 1,100, when did it happen? It happened on the 22nd. So I'm going to put here 422. 115, when did it happen? It happened on the 26th. So I'm going to put 426. Put the dates, guys. Because if you put the dates, you know, in case they ask you, what was the balance after the 18th? Well, here's the 18th after. There it is. What was the balance after the 15th? The 15th? There it is. Usually they ask you what's the balance at the very end. I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna be the last one that they usually ask you the stars. But you never know. That's why I like to put the date anytime you do a minus or plus. And you're a calculator kid, you still have to do this work, except here you don't have to regroup. You just punch it in, put the answer, put the B. Do the work, punch it in, put the answer, put the B. Questions with cash registers? Tomorrow we'll look for that one. That was pretty easy. Okay. There's one to try out on your own. For homework, you can try that one out. There's your beginning balance, and there's only two transactions. Withdrawal, ¿qué va a ser?
The middle.
Withdrawal, minus, and deposits, plus. That's it, and then you're going to switch it in the box. Okay? We did those already. Those will be for tutorial. All the ones with fractions to decimals tutorial or night class. So if you're not coming to those, well, you're not going to know what to do. I'm going to do this guy right now with you all. Well, let me do this one on the bottom. Okay? So draw a line, put number 16. Draw a line and put number 16, please.
We didn't do that one yesterday. No.
We did 15.
Sure.
So Brianna, since she's already ahead, we did a bunch of them in the night class. So she'll be probably done by today with most of it because she came yesterday. Because I'm doing the ones that we did not do at night. Now I'm doing the other ones. So the ones that did not do the ones at night, well, that's your problem. You have to do on your own. Okay? Or tutorial. I'm doing in tutorial stuff again. Okay, so here we have an addition, a minus, and an addition. And they're also in parentheses. Your first job is to write this on the side, a little checklist, PEMDAS. The P means parenthesis goes first. That's who should go first. Exponents go second. I have not touched about exponents, so you should not do anything with exponents. Number 3 is either multiply or divide. This one we go from left to right. When we get to this part, it's left to right. And number 4 is add or subtract, left to right. I hope you're listening. Okay. Do we have parentheses there? Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have 2 of them. We have this one, and we have that one. We have 2 parenthesis sets. Okay, 2 groupings. Because of that, I'm going to go left to right. When we have 2 of the same, we have to go left to right. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and go. You go first.
14.
Now, the key with the calculator, boom, boom, boom. You punch it in. The rest of us, we count. 8 plus 6.
14.
That carry tells you I'm doing this, Mr. Rivera, first because it was parenthesis. And here's my answer for this only. Once you're done with that, put a little circle around it so you can know that this is already covered. It became 14. Anything that's not in a circle comes down. So you see that minus, it will come down. The parenthesis comes down. The -3 comes down. The plus comes down. The 7 comes down. And the parenthesis comes down. I did not need a rule because there were positives. Positives just stay positives. We don't need a rule for positives. Okay? Go back to your checklist. Do we still have parentheses? Yeah, we have this guy now. So guess who gets the carry? He gets the carry. Okay? Now, we are dealing with negatives now. I need a rule now. If you have negatives, we need the rule. What rule would this one be? There, good. Put it. No seas flojito. The more you write them, the more better you're going to get at the rules. What does div mean? Subtract. So what's 7 minus 3? 4. Good. And then, what does this mean? To keep the greatest absolute value. Who will have the greatest absolute value? 7 or 3?
7.
So it was going to stay positive. So I'm just going to put parentheses around so I can say, okay, you're positive. I'm going to circle so I can say I'm done with you too. Everything that's not circle comes down. So you see that minus? It'll come down. The 14 comes down. Okay? Now, do we have a double negative there? No, we don't. At the beginning we had double negative. Let's talk about that since somebody mentioned it. That double negative, I would not do double negative because parenthesis goes first. If this guy would be a negative here, then it would be a double negative. But right now, that's not a double negative. That's going to be, I'm going to teach our parenthesis first, and then we'll see if we need to do double negative. Okay? The order of operation goes first. Okay? Before the double negative. I'm going to take care of the order of operations and the double negative. I know I always tell you, hey, you see a double negative, take care of it. Here's what I mean by that. If I had this problem like this. That is what I need, take care of it. There's no order of operations. There's only one operation here, minus. I'm going to take care of this guy first before I even start, and now we go for it. Okay? We take care of double negatives in this case. Like this guy. Again, there's no PEMDAS here, so I'm not doing multiple operations. It's going to be only one, a minus, that's it. So I will take care of double negative quickly before I start. Now this one that we're doing, there was multiple operations. There was a plus, a minus, a plus. I'm not going to take care of double negative. I'm going to go with the order of operation. And then we take care of the rules as we're going along. Okay, here we go. Carry for the last ones. What's the rule for that one?
10.
What's the rule? Div, it's the same one. So I have it here. You could just point it and say it's the same one. That's fine with me. You don't have to write down again. When it's like the same one, just send an arrow and tell me it's the same thing. Div means I'm going to subtract, so 14 minus 4 is 10. And some kids are calling this same. Yeah, he's a positive and he's a positive. I understand that. But because of the minus, he makes the 4 a negative situation. Some of you still don't get that. The minus will make the 4 a negative situation. So we really have a positive And this guy really represents a negative because it's a minus. And in life, when you minus something, that's negative. So 10, who do you keep? Positive or negative? Positive. Whose highest absolute value?
14.
14. Who's farther from 0? 14 or 4? We keep the positive. So the answer would be positive 10. Now, let me do it the wrong way, red. Don't copy red, just want to make a point. 8 plus 6, in parentheses, minus negative 3 plus 7. If you do not listen to me and you quickly go with double negative, look what's going to happen. You're going to make this guy a plus. Just listen. Yeah, you already messed up the whole problem, just so you know. 8 plus 6 is what?
14.
14. Bring everything down. Bring everything down. We don't need roots here because there's no negatives. 3 plus 7 is
10.
10. 14 plus 10 would be 24. Now the star is going to be there, trust me, 24 is going to be there on purpose. So we don't do double negative. We follow the order of operations, and then if there's at the end of double negative, then we take care of it. Let's see. Questions with that one? Let me do another one of these. These are pretty easy if you go with the order of operations. So let's do this guy. Okay? 8. This is number, I forgot what number it was. It's number 18. Guys, and go home. If you're not gonna be favorite, go home and watch the video so tomorrow you know which ones to answer first. Answer the ones that you feel faster and comfortable. Take care of those first. There's already a video from yesterday, and now this is going to be the second video. This is number 18, okay? 8. What does parentheses next to number mean?
Multiply.
Multiply. 8 times negative 3 plus negative 9 plus 2 times negative 3. So look. This means times. A number next to parentheses means times. There's no symbol between, it means times. So we have a times, we have an add, we have another add, and we have another what? Times. So we have a bunch of operations again. We have multiply, add, multiplies. Tenemos muchas. So guess who do we need for sure? PEMDAS first. I need PEMDAS. So I can know who I'm going to do first, who I'm going to do second, who I'm going to do third, who I'm going to do last. Guys, when you see a bunch of operations to do, multiply, add, multiply, we need to do this. Okay? Now, do we have any parentheses? Some kids will say yes. Let me explain the difference between parentheses. Like, literally, yes, we have parentheses, yes. But inside the parentheses, is there something to do? No. Inside this parenthesis, is there something to do? No. Inside this parenthesis, is there something to do? No. So do we really have parentheses to work on? No. Check. Exponents, I have not even touched exponents. So do you think I'm going to ask you something with exponents? No. Check. You use the checklist to say, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? Do we have multiply or divide?
Yes.
Yes. We have multiply right there, and we have multiply over here too. So we have two multiplications. So who would go first in that case since we have two of them? Left to right. So my carrot goes to you. They're the winners. They're going to go first. Now, when you're multiplying, you just multiply like you always do. What's 8 times 3? 24. There's a negative. When there's negatives or minuses, we need rules. Get it through your head. When there's negatives or minuses, we need rules. What's the rule that we would need? Now, calculator kids, you will not need a rule. Punch it in. 8 times 3 negative equal, and put the answer already. Okay? What rule do you need here? Div?
No, the real man.
Dorito man, guys. Dorito man. Div is for what? For adding and subtracting. Same is for adding and subtracting. Multiply and divide, it's always Dorito man. Multiply and divide, it's always Dorito man. Calculator kids, you just punch it in. Just follow the checklist and punch it in. With your carrot, punch it in, get the answer, bring it down. Please, calculators, right? Así para ustedes. Okay, positive and what?
Negative.
What's going to stay?
Negative.
Negative. Whatever you did not circle, that's what stays. Now, I am done with, you see the carrot? You're done with those two. Circle it so you won't bring them again down. That's why I like to circle it. That's why I like to put the carrot. Porque no me gusta esa vuelta. Everything that's not circled, that's not with a carrot, comes what? Down. You see the plus? Bring it down next to it. The -9, bring it down next to it. The other plus, bring it down next to it. And go slowly. The 2, bring it down next to it. The parenthesis, bring it down next. So the problem became simpler. You're simplifying the expression. That's why it says sometimes simplify the expression because you're making it smaller and smaller and smaller, more simple. Okay? Go back to your checklist. We're still here. Do we have still multiply and divide? Yes, we have add, and what's this? Guess what? He gets the carrot because this tells me who gets the carrot. Okay? What's 2 times 3?
6.
6. What rule do you need? Dorito man. So I'm going to draw him quickly. Every time that there's a negatives or minuses, I better see a rule next to your carrots. That tells me that you're really paying attention and that you're working hard. Positive and what?
Negative.
So I circle positive and negative. Who's in that circle?
Negative.
He gets the negative. And I put parentheses always next to the number so I can know that it is negative or positive. Circle it, those two are done. Everything else comes down. So you see the plus? He'll come down. The 9, that's a negative, he'll come down. The plus, he'll come down. The 24, he would come down. And now we're done with that. You see, it's becoming smaller and smaller, more simple and simple. Do we have more multiply and divide?
Yes. Oh, no.
No. So guess what? Finally, I'm saying check. I'm done with you, multiply and divide. Who's the last step? Add or subtract. Do we have add and subtract? Yes. They're all add. There's 2 of them. So we're going to go left to right. So he would go first. Oh, but there's negatives. What's the rule? Dorito man?
No.
No, what would be the rule now? Same, right there. Negative and negative. Same. The rule be same. They're both negative. It's the same. Negative and negative, same. And what do you do when it's the same?
You add.
You add. And you keep. 24 plus 9, you use your fingers. How much do you get? Huh? 33. And then we said that we're going to keep what? The negative. Put in parentheses so you know he's negative. Circle him out. And you're done with those 2. And then what do you do after you're done with those 2? Bring everything down. So what's this? Pues ya no sobra mucho. Plus -6. Okay? What's the rule for that one? Same. So I can tell you, you know what? I'm going to use this guy again for that one. I'm going to use the same rule. You can just point to it and one, Shiva. O sea, la misma rule. Because both of them were what? Negative. So what am I going to do? Add. 33 plus 6 is going to be?
99. No, 39.
No, 33 plus 6.
39.
39. Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Okay? And that's it, I'm done. The answer, I'm going to punch it in like this. Negative 39.00 like money. Please punch it in like money. Questions? It's not bad. You just have to go 2 at a time, and you have to know the rules. Okay? And if you forgot the rules, go to your Jamboard. Go to the Jamboard and go study them. Or go to the assignment that I gave you Monday that had the superhero one and practice those problems. Okay? And see if you know how to do these. I think you should attack these tomorrow also. I think you should go ahead and attack these, the order pairs, and the check register. I think you should attack those first. Try to get 10 pounds out of the way by tomorrow. Questions with that? Y esta la hice ayer con la clase, con las de esos. Did y'all have any trouble with these from yesterday? You're supposed to have done these yesterday. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go over number 2. Because yesterday, I had a bunch of messages about number 2. This guy. So let's talk about this. Number 2, you didn't do your homework, but I'm going to do it right now. Number 2. I did number 1, you're supposed to have done number 2 for homework. So here we go. The toy store has shelves of Barbie dolls. In each shelf, 136 of. You see this word of? That's our ratio rate. So I'm going to put here that I need it in words. I need to find the what? The numbers. And then I need the choices. That's the way we do it. Now, kids are confused here because they're like, but who goes on top, who goes in the bottom? Well, let's check. In a shelf, 136 of the 200 Barbies are cutie reveals. So, the cutie reveals are the ones that they mentioned first. So, cutie goes here. And the 136 would be those. Because 136 of the 200, so the 200 would go on the bottom. It's like a fraction, basically. That's why they mentioned pure fraction. And when I say 10 of 8, it's 10 over 8. If I say 12 of 24, 12 over 24. The word of tells you that the bar goes right there, basically. Okay? Now, who would be the 200 in this story then? Huh? The regular, all the Barbies. It's the total, basically. The total Barbies. Okay? That's what it would be. So some of you flipped them, and because you were confused who goes first, who goes second. This, when it's talking about fractions of, it's hard to hold. This is a part to hold. The cutie Barbies are the parts of the whole collection that has 200 Barbies in the shelf. Okay? Now that I know that, what type of ratio is this? A small to big or big to small? A small to big. So, this guy has small to big, small to big. That's good. Is this small to big? No, it's big to what? Small. So this guy is out. Is this small to big? Is this small to big? Good. So these two are winning. Is this small to big? No. Just by knowing, in case you're like, ¿cómo que small to big? ¿Quién es el más chiquito? 136 or 200? That's why he's a small to big. And if I'm choosing an answer like B, you're going to be wrong. It's not going to be proportional because this guy is big to what? Small. It can't be that one. Big to small. It can't be that one. Okay? Okay. Choices, we only have A or C, right? Yes? I'm going to start with A on purpose. I know A is not the answer. 12 to 25. I'm going to put it. And how do I check if it's the answer? I'm going to cross multiply. 136 times 25. So I'm going to go to the side. 136 times 25. And I'm going to calculate that on the side. And then I'm going to go 200 times 12. Let me first do this one. What's 5 times 6? 30. 5 times 3 plus 3, 18. 5 times 1 plus 1, 6. Cross it out and put a 0. Always cross it out, put a 0. Now your calculator, kid, you're just punching it in, guys. And putting the answer at the top. That's why I'm like, Come on. You need to know how to set it up, which is in words, the ratio, the numbers from the story, and then the choices. And then just cross multiply all of them to see which one is equivalent, which one is proportional. Let's see. Let me get it. 2 times 6, 12. So then the top, 2 times 3, 6 plus 1, 7. 2 times 1, 2. That would be 0, 10, 14, 3,400. So 136 times 25. 136 times 25, which is this one here. I'm doing this one first. 136 times 25 is this one, right? This gave me 3,400. So I'm going to put 3,400 on the top. I'm going to do this one. 200 times 12. When you're in elementary, didn't they teach you how to multiply quickly with zeros?
Yes.
Well, basically you forget about the zeros. You just kind of like cover them, so you know what, forget about you. And you only worry about the 2 with a what? 12. What's 2 times 12? 24. So I know that the answer is going to be 24, but we cannot just forget about the 3, we need to put them back. So how many zeros were there? 2. So we put them back. Are they proportional? No. So what's the answer? C. Do I have to even test it?
No.
For what? You already know this one is wrong, you know the other ones are dumb. Now, a good student, if you have time, let's go test it, and you're going to see that it's proportional. Question number 2. The reason kids have trouble with number 2 is because they forgot that when we use words like this, 12 out of 18, this means 12 to 18. Or if I go 30 of 100, what does that mean? 30 to 100. Out of, it's going to be a part to whole. And that's what we have. We have the part of the Barbies where the cutie reveals, and the 200 were the total Barbies. Questions with that one? You will have one like this. And there's a video about 3. I will go watch it because tomorrow you're going to have one of that too. Tomorrow and Friday. Number 4, you should have tried it on your own. Watch the video. It's in yesterday's assignment. There's the video. Look. It's right there. I told you. Your homework was 2, 4, 8, 21, 22, 23, 25. And we did the homework. We did in the video. I did 1, 3, 7, 20, 24. Watch it. Especially if you want to pass. If you're failing 6 weeks, here's your chance to pass the 6 weeks. Okay? Go watch this real good so you can be ready. And like study certain of them. So I'm going to focus on these only. So tomorrow, I just do those first. So go and watch the video and say, okay, I can handle this one tomorrow. I can handle this one. Like start checking which ones you can handle. And tomorrow in the test, you go look for those. Like I would go look for the order pairs, right? The X and Y, take care of those. The check registers, the one we just did in the morning, take care of those. I think the order of operations with the integer rules, that's pretty easy. These, some of them are easy, the ratios and I think all of them are easy, but let me do one of these. What's that? Number 8. I have a video, number 7, but now number 8, I'm going to do it with you right now also. Ready? It says Ms. Gutierrez can edit 117 papers in 3 minutes. At this rate, how many papers will Ms. Gutierrez edit in 4 minutes? If you already did the homework, well, you should check it out. If you're right, if you haven't done it, shame on you, and go copy it, okay? Number 8. What's in front there? You first start with the keywords when it's a story. What will be front from the story that you see there? Rate. That would be number 1. So I'm going to say, you know what? I see the word rate. What else? What other word did I tell you that I was in front? In. Very good. In. So you see rate, in, those are still ratios. Okay? And since there's ratios, what's my strategy? Words. A ratio in words. What's my strategy? Numbers. From the story. Turn it around, sir. What's the strategy? Choices from the story also, not from the story, my bad. I want the numbers from the choices. But we also learned that we can do some pre-algebra here, so we can put algebra. You know how I know I have to do pre-algebra here? Because look, there's 1, 2, 3 numbers. And when we do the cross products, you always get the 4 numbers. When they only give you 3 numbers, that means that the 4th number is a choice. To be faster, I'm going to do pre-algebra, right? So give me the words. What would you put on the top according to the story? Papers. Why papers? Because the word to is like the word in. Who came first? Papers. Who came second? Minutes. So far so good? This comes the words. The ratio in this story is papers to minutes. The rate is for every paper I read or I edit, I take this minutes. That's a ratio, that's a rate, a special rate. Now, story time. Who are the papers? 170. How many minutes? 3. My next one is going to be from the choices, but they already gave me something. They gave me 12 what? So where would I put it? Top or bottom? Bottom. You know why bottom, guys? Because it's minutes. Minutes, minutes, minutes. Papers will be on the top. Do we know the papers on the top of this guy? So what do we put? We put an X. That's why I call it a pre-algebra, because we're going to do it like, let me erase this one. The only thing is another fraction bar right there. There we go. There's your proportion, right? Now, we're going to do it like elementary, because the numbers are pretty easy right here. The 3 and the 12. 3 times what? 3 times what gives me 12? 4. What you do in the bottom, you need to do in the top. What's 17 times 4? I'm going to go to the side. 117 times 4. That will be 28. 4, 6, 4. X equals 468. So she'll be able to do 468 papers, because the X is this guy. 468 papers in 12 minutes. So the answer would be D. Guys, the key is I need to know what to do. And I told you in my notes, and I'm going to make you write it again. When you know it's about ratios and proportions, I better see the ratio in words, the numbers that represent those words, and then the choices. Why can I still use the choices? Like, for example, Leah, I spoke to her last night. She was the last one that came into the meeting. And she told me, sir, I showed her how to do this. And she's like, that's easier. Why didn't you tell me that before? I said, I did. Well, I probably wasn't listening. Yeah, that's the problem. You don't listen, then you do. Here's what she did. She still got the answer, but she took forever. You know what she had to do? She put choice A right there and cross products. Then she put choice B right there and cross products. Then she put choice C right there and cross products. Then she put choice D right there and cross products, and she found the answer. How many times did she have to do? 4. But if she would have listened in class or watched the video that I posted, she would have known that I don't have to try all the choices, because we can do algebra, the missing variable, and just do right here quickly times 1 times 1 and find the X. Okay? So if you don't remember this, the algebra part, you have to try all the choices. And the cross products to see, but it's going to take you longer. Okay? Question with number 8. Guess what, guys? Number 8 is like number 7. And it's also like number, just so you know, it's also like number 26. Listen. 26. It's like that one too. 7, 8, 20, not 26, 25. 7, 8, 24, 25, you can do pre-algebra. And you're going to get problems like this. Okay? Questions with that? Now, anything that, you know what, let me do some fractions to decimals quickly, because some of you maybe forgot this. Let me do something that I showed the kids yesterday this. I'll do number 12. Ready? we're going from decimal to fraction, right? From decimal to fraction. Listen, from decimal to fraction, that's for the first 6 weeks. So if you were not listening the first 6 weeks, here's your chance to recover. So what I'm gonna do is now they tell me about proportions, I'm gonna do this. This is number 12, copy this. Number 12. First of all, let's change this guy to fraction. How do you read 0.6 in math when you're in elementary? You will read it how? 6 what?
6 decimals?
6 tenths. Good. Who said that? America? Good job, Captain America. 6 tenths. 6 tenths. There. 0.6 is read 6 tenths. You need to know that, guys. You need to know how to read decimals. Okay? Let's practice how to read another one just to make sure. How do you read this guy? Be careful. Don't copyright this. How do you read that guy? 500. Good. The next one. How do you read that guy? 7 tenths. 2400. One more. 125,000. Okay? 10, 100, 1,000. Why do I need to know how to read them? Because if they want me to go from decimal to fraction, I just read it and you get the fraction. You read it, you get the fraction. You understand? That's how you go from decimal to fraction. The calculator is not going to help you here. Not at the beginning. You need to know how to read it. Okay? Now that we read it and we'll be learning about proportions, guess what I can do with all the choices? Instead of bottom out all of them, number it, number open it next to each other. And here we go. What's 6 times 6?
36.
What's 10 times 1? Are they proportional?
No.
That's why that's not the answer. Then you write 6 tenths again. What's the next choice?
1/3.
1/3. With the equal sign, we would check it in the equivalent proportional. What's 3 times 6?
80.
What's 10 times 1?
10.
They're not proportional. Bye-bye to you. The next one, 610. The key is that first we have to change this guy to a fraction by reading it, right? And then we just try our choices. 3/5. What's 5 times 6?
30.
30. What's 10 times 3? 30. Found the answer. The next one, just to make sure, 610. 2/3. Put the equal sign. Don't forget to put the equal sign. 3 times 6? 18. 10 times 2? 20. They're not proportional. So I boom, it's that one. My job was to first change this guy to a what? Fraction. Now, that's what you can do. That's option 1. Which that's probably what I would do because I already know how to do proportions, right? Question? Option 2. If I'm going too fast, it's in the video. It's being like I'm recording it right now. Okay? Here's option 2. Bottom out and put in decimal. Bottom out or the card, that one is an easy card, 3,300. Remember that one? Bottom out, the fish is 20, 40, 60, 0.60. Bottom out, 0.66, the repeater. So which one matches mine? Boom, bottom out. I can do bottom out everything into decimal, so it can match the decimal. Or I can make this guy to fraction and then cross products. No sé qué les costea más, usted va a decidir de esa manera. Okay? Bottom out, bottom out, bottom out. And in case you're like, what's bottom out? Let me do one. Bottom out would be this. 1 divided by 3. 1, is that enough for 3? No. What do I do? I have 0. 10, is that enough for 3? Yes. 3 times 1 gives me, 3 times 3 gives me 9. 10 minus 9 would be 1. What do you do in the remainder? I have 0. 3 times 1 gives me 10 again. 3. Another 0. 3 times 1 gives me 10 again. 3. Okay, get the point. It's going to be a what? A repeater. Now, Mr. Rivera likes to go to the thousands when I know it's kind of weird. But then when I put the answer, I'm going to just call it 33 cents. Put the marker to show it's repeater. We want to think of money, right? But this is an example of bottom out. Okay? Questions? I think I covered everything that might be on the 6 weeks test. I can't think of anything that I haven't covered. And it's gonna be up to you to decide, do I wanna go and watch the videos and study and practice on my own, or I don't? Do I wanna take her to tutor for one last review, or I don't? Or do I wanna go to that night class for one last review, or I don't? I don't know. It is up to you. The choice is yours. Make the good one. Especially your babies.